Hello BookTube, my name's Nadine, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to do the reading habits tag. I saw AJ Dunn Reads and Writes version of this a few days ago and I really enjoyed his answers, so I thought I would give it a go too. Okay, so let's get into it. So number one, do you have a certain place at home for reading? Usually I will read on the sofa in my living room, and then at bedtime I'll normally read a chapter of something on my Kindle in bed. I very rarely read outside or anything like that, so I just get distracted. Number two, bookmark or random piece of paper. Bookmarks all the way. I have tons of bookmarks. These are a few of my favourites. I got bought this one, gosh, maybe about 15-16 years ago, and I'm still using it. And then I have this one too. It's a Viking ship. I don't know if you can make it out there. But the one that I tend to use the most is this one here. It's a British Library bookmark, The Cat That Walked by Himself, Rudyard Kipling. But yeah, I really like that one. But yeah, I have tons of bookmarks. 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter, a certain amount of pages? Usually I don't have to read a full chapter because a lot of my reading is sort of snatched moments here and there when I'm sort of in between household tasks or whatever. So usually I try to read like 5 pages at a time, and I find that I get quite a lot of reading done that way actually. But failing that, I'm quite happy to stop. I will read to sort of the end of one page and to the end of the first sentence if it carries over on the next page. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? Not particularly, no. I don't eat whilst reading usually, unless I'm really into a book. But never like if I'm eating with my family. If I'm eating by myself and I'm really into my book, I will carry on reading sometimes whilst I'm eating. But I generally, if I'm sitting down to have a read, I won't go and get a snack or anything like that. I usually have like a glass of water or something nearby anyway, just because I drink loads. Number 5, multitasking, music or TV while reading. No, not if I'm just sat having a read. If my kids are at home and they're watching something on TV, it doesn't bother me to sit on the sofa next to them and have a read whilst they're watching it. It doesn't distract me. And again with music it's the same. It doesn't distract me, but I don't choose to have it on. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once. I kind of miss the one book at a time days. I think your reading experience is more intense if you're just having that one world to focus on, but I generally end up being in the middle of 4 or 5 books at any one time. I usually have something that I'm reading on my Kindle, I'll have a physical book, I'll have an audio book, and then I've normally got 1 or 2 others that I couldn't resist starting as well, like dotted around the place. I think at the moment I'm actively reading 4 or 5 books. 7, reading at home or everywhere. Pretty much just at home. I do try and take a book to work with me for breaks, but I find that I'm usually disturbed anyway. And it's that thing as well of if somebody comes into a break room and sees you reading, they will always strike up a conversation with you about your reading, and you know how annoying it is to be disturbed when you're reading, isn't it? Yes it is. So I don't bother anymore particularly. But yeah, usually just at home. 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. I read silently in my head unless it's poetry or yes, sometimes plays as well, because anything that's supposed to have been performed, I think you get a little bit more out of if you read it out loud. Like sometimes it comes out differently, or you pick up on something different in the language when you read it out loud. If I've been writing anything, because I do like to write as well, which is a little known fact, I will always read out loud what I've written, because you pick up on different things, and like you see how the sentences flow a little bit better. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? No, never ever. I think if I've started a book, unless I'm going to DNF it, which it has to be seriously bad or seriously offensive or boring for me to do that, I kind of take it as a commitment when I start a book that, you know, we are seeing this relationship through to the bitter end. Number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. I don't usually break the spine if I'm reading a new book, but I am quite happy to have well-loved books in my collection, and I like having well-loved books in my collection, so I've got no problem with broken spines particularly. I can't remember who it was that wrote it, but somebody said that the nice thing about a read book is it's fuller after it's been read, meaning that something of the reader has gone into it as well, and I kind of like that. Finally, number 11, do you write in your books? No, I don't. I like the idea of that, like it's a sort of extension of the relationship with a book that you have, but I don't do it. So yeah, that is it. Because I wasn't tagged in this, I'm not going to tag anybody else. If you like the sound of the tag and you want to do it, that's great. Let me know down below if you do, and I would love to watch your answers. But yeah, that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye!